Child. Anyway, so
Hello, everyone. My name is Jaden, and I'm out. My new thing has really been the Shark Tank. Um, I'm out phrase. Like for some reason, it just really sticks to me, and I think it really speaks volume to what I'm willing to invest time and effort
hmm.
into. You know, and it's like when
Mm.
someone presents something, whether out of pure jest or like something serious, or they're telling me about their relationship troubles and tribulations, I can always have the option to be like, you know what, I'm out.
That's so
Sounds like a
true.
good idea. I'm out.
That is so real. Like literally invest. Literally.
Like
Wow.
it's a clear decision and like a
Mm-hmm.
clear boundary of
Yeah.
what you are willing to spend time doing. And it's like
Mm.
when you're not in the mood for it, you raise your hand and you say, "I'm out." And no one will know what you're doing or saying at all. And they may laugh or giggle, but they will not know that you're referencing Shark Tank
And you will not be there to hear them giggle. So I guess it doesn't even matter.
because guess where you are?
Out.
Out.
Yeah.
Like
Similarly, my name is Amira, and my I'm out is let's not. Let's not.
I was looking at that earlier, like you're let's not, and I'm out.
Like, let's just not. Like, that's very much what I've taken on as like at work. People have been, when I say trying me, and I'll get into it for my moment of the week, but I'm just like, let's not. I'm moving in a way that just exhibits that. Let's not.
Let's just not. How
Let's
about
not.
I also do like a how about now or like let's not.
Maybe let's not.
Let's
I'm
not.
out. I'm
I'm
gonna
out.
do both to
Yeah.
like
Let's
maximize the
not. I'm out.
potential. Yeah, let's not. I'm out, or I'm out. Let's
Let's not.
not. Let's
It is
not.
like it. There's two things happening. Like let's not is a telling everyone like let's not engage in this thing,
Yeah,
and then sometimes people will still engage, and then you have to determine like actually I'm out. Like
because
let's
you can't
not.
change the room, but you can change what room you're in.
Okay, let's not because I'm out. Like
Hello.
I'm out. Let's not. Like you could really change it up depending on the situation, and it will always like work out for you.
I've never been more excited for my Monday work meeting. I'm so
Right? It's like,
excited.
so
Mm.
we're doing this thing. I'm like, I'm out. Leaves Zoom. Like, what is
Oh,
there to talk about?
swivels and chairs. I'm out.
Let's
Let's
not.
not, you know. But what we are going to do today, Jaden, where are we? Once you collect yourself, tell the
I'm
people where
sorry.
we are.
Let's not. We are
Let's
on a show that we like to call Ciao. Anyway, with Jaden and Amira.
which kind of also goes with that as well. You could say all
Right.
three of those things in any order and it
Ciao.
works.
Anyway. Right. Let's
Let
not. I'm
Ciao.
out. Ciao. Anyway.
As you're like grabbing your purse and
As
walking
you're
out.
grabbing your stuff, like, let's not.
Ciao.
I'm out. And grabbing the thing like, ciao. Anyway, and goes to car and
Correct.
giggles. Like, what?
Correct. I love it and I can't wait. Guys, write into the pod if you start incorporating this into your language and if you get the chance to use it in real life applications. I really hope that you do because I definitely will. Let's just get started. Let's start with our moment of the week. This is where Jade and I share things from this week or last week, and we have, our recording schedules less consistent, so it could have been
Yeah,
whatever. Could have just been whatever.
truly.
Mine is a continuous thing that happens all the time at work, so it's all the time. And I'll start. Jade. Oh wait, I'm
Please
sorry.
do.
Moments of the week that made us say "ciao." Anyway, sorry.
It's okay.
Um, the people get it. They've been here for
Let's
how
not.
long? Let's not start making up stuff. Like y'all
Right.
get
Let's
it,
not start
please.
acting like we don't know the program around here.
Y'all know the
If
order
you
of
don't
the
know the program
show.
around here, you can go to the last episode and start that program.
You're gonna want to catch up anyway, so why not just start at the
Yeah.
top? So my moment of the week with an S, parentheses S, is my coworker, parentheses S, likes to do this thing where I will ask a question. Let's say it's like, "Oh, where'd you get that information, or like how did you come up with that figure or whatever the thing was. They'll play so dumb and be like, "Oh, I thought you said, oh no, because I thought that the ball, no, because I," and then now me, even though I'm a let's not I'm out girl for the most part, sometimes I'm like, no, because you're not about to play dumb and not take any
No.
accountability for this wrong answer that you just said out loud. So I need to know where you got it from, because if there's wrong information in our source pool, I would like to know. And then
Right.
Jaden, you know what it always is every single time. I'll be like, I'll do some pushback. Obviously, I love a little pushback. I'll be like, I no, because I didn't say that. That wasn't me. Oh no, you. I'm like, did you just say? Was it you? Did you? Oh yeah, I guess I kind of just thought. I guess I kind of just made it up. So you made it up.
So you made it up.
So you made it up. I just spent 45 seconds asking where you got this information, and you pretended like the manager gave it to you, or maybe I told you that, or maybe I missed it. No, you made it up.
And to
Why not just say that?
why not just say it? Like,
Like,
why not say, actually, I made it up? Or you should have said, I don't know. Or like you should have did the
oh,
wrong
I
thing
don't know
in the
doesn't
first place.
work. I don't know doesn't work. No, you should have said I made it up, because I don't know doesn't work, because you
No, no,
do know.
no.
You're
I'm
grown.
saying I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like, where'd you get this from? Like, I don't know. No, actually, I don't know. Doesn't work.
You
Just
have
say
to
you
say,
made it
"Oh,
up.
that's what I thought." Oh, was I wrong? Because to me, it's like if you're not even taking accountability, you're not willing to learn or see how you did the thing wrong, you're never going to learn to not do the thing wrong.
Right.
And
And if
unfortunately, that's not going to work.
and I'm very forthcoming with making things up. Like I love making things up and then being like, I kind of just made that up. Me and
Me
my
too.
friend, we literally started doing it recently where we were having a conversation. I was like, I make things up all the time. And but like I'm forthcoming with that information that I just made it
Yes.
up. And it's like you don't realize sometimes you are just chatting and you'll tell a story and then make something up and then all you have to do is go back and be like, actually I think I just made part of that up. Like I think what actually happened was this. Because sometimes when you're trying to
Absolutely.
recall something, you can get stories like
Absolutely.
overlapping or like you're trying to, put pieces together of a story and you're like, actually, wait, no, I think this was like you can change your mind. But
Correct.
just own up to it. Like it's okay. He was like, I'm pretty sure you told me that before. I was like, I'm pretty sure I made that up.
Pretty sure
it
I
was
might have
something.
said that and it was made
It
up.
was something he was like holding on to as like fact, and I'm like, baby, I'm pretty sure I made that up. And we busted out laughing because
Made
it's
up.
so important to be honest and like authentic about stuff like that. Like, okay, you made it up, own it, and let's move on.
Let's move on, Jaden. Like the thing is, like to your point about you changing your mind or remembering things differently, every time you remember something, you're not remembering the actual moment. You're remembering the memory. So if you
Yeah,
remembered it wrong the first time, you're never going to know the truth. So you acting like I told you something. Now, unfortunately for you, I do have a really good memory. So I'll be at work like, actually, Ellen, that's not true. That didn't
no,
happen. You made that up. And my thing is, this is what I love to do at work. If I am the one who made it up, or like I just assumed the thing, you have to put that disclaimer at the top. You have to literally start your sentences with like, and I assumed, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, like say that.
and then when you're
But what?
right, it feels better.
And in your instance, they weren't prepared for the call out. That's what it was. Like they thought they would just be able to say whatever, and then it was just going to be moved on. So for you
Mm-mm.
to like give the pushback, they weren't prepared for that. They were ready to make it up and just move on.
Mm-mm.
Like even if I get caught up, first of all, I can manipulate a situation easy.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, did you not go to college? Like, you don't know how to
Like
finesse and
you don't know how to
lie
finesse and
and
lie
get
like
out?
off like this. Like
Come
even if it was
on.
like who told you that? It's like actually I'm pretty sure I thought I heard it from you, but you're saying you didn't say it. Like like there's ways
If
to
you
go
didn't
about
say
it.
it, then I don't even know.
And it's like, isn't that how we've been doing it? Like every time it got done, I always assumed it was this way. And so when y'all told me to do it, I figured it was the best way to do. Like you could have thought of something, but
Anything.
you didn't even let down our mouth. You made up something and then got scared and hid. Like what?
Like, girl, you made it
Don't pick.
up. Girl. This I
You just
it's
made that up.
especially if it's me. Like you said I said it. Oh girl, you made it up and I'm about to write you up. Now what?
Right? How about
For
that?
lying. Not even because you did the report wrong, but because you lied on me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Jada, before I start getting angry all over again, what
Yeah.
is your moment of the week? I'm sure it's work related.
It's it starts off as work related, but
Mm,
it's not about work, if that makes
okay.
sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and this literally happened yesterday,
Mhm.
literally yesterday. So I had to work. Today is Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday. I had to work. I had an event at 10,
Mm.
10 a.m. It was like 10 to 1 or something like that. And it was in Camden, and that's like a 30-minute commute. So I'm running late anyway. Like
Well,
already
yeah.
running late. And I've honestly been doing so much better with like timeliness recently. Like I have taken a lot of pride in like being to things on time, being up and being like I have been doing pretty
Good for
well. And I feel
you.
like people don't notice when I'm on time to things, but everyone notices when I'm late. And I just don't appreciate that. Like this is why I don't come to y'all shit. Like no shit. Because whatever. So I'm up running late per usual. And I turn my car on from inside, like, get it warmed up. So when I get to the car, I can just run, especially when you're running late, like, you really just need to go.
Hello.
Like, I don't have time for it to warm up or anything. Like, it should be doing that before I'm even coming out to it.
Correct.
So turn the car on, let my dog out, come back, put him in the crate, get my jacket on, walk out the door, struggle to lock the door, shut the door. Like, don't even start it. Gets the car, and my car, because it's like newer, I guess. It has like the button to get
To
in,
push the start. Oh, on the door, the handle.
like on the door.
Mhm.
It's not unlocking, which lets me know my keys are not in my possession. My mother is 45 minutes away, and I'm calling her, and she's not answering because I'm locked out of car and of home. So I can't do anything but stand there and look stupid. And it's freezing cold out. Like it's not
Oh,
like it's a nice warm day. It's freezing cold. Luckily, I was wearing a bubble coat, so like I wasn't
not the puffer.
suffering. Literally, I wasn't suffering too bad. But it's just like imagine if it's one of those days where like I'm gonna be inside. Like sometimes you like I'm going from in a car to in a building to in a car to
Yes.
in my home. So like I don't need a huge coat.
Mhm.
I'm happy I didn't listen to that. I go out and I get stuck. I'm calling her. I'm calling her. She's not answering, but she's going to visit my grandmother, and that's a whole separate thing. But I didn't end up calling my grandmother, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, she right here," and I'm like, "I hate that you didn't answer your phone because of course I'm locked out and I need your assistance, and you're not answering the phone." And he was like, "Oh my god, okay." So she comes, she starts heading home to let me in. I go to the backyard just because the sun was there, so I could at least have like some sun and not be just sitting on the porch in
Mhm.
like a shaded area with the wind blowing and it's cold. It was too much. So I sit in the sun a little bit, but I started to feel a headache coming on.
Oh my gosh, girl.
Not only was it a headache, it was a
Girl.
migraine.
Oh my
And it was
gosh.
a targeted migraine over like the left eye.
Oh my gosh, girl.
And to the point I'm throwing up. Like when she finally gets here, I'm like I have such a migraine for some reason. I'm laying on the couch. That's not working out. So I go upstairs. I'm like trying to get into bed. Goes to the bathroom, start throwing up. Go gets back in the bed, hops back out the bed, goes throws
What?
up, get back in the bed, and then I slept until maybe like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. No, 3 o'clock, like 3:30 from like 11.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I was like, the moment wasn't me getting locked out. That was the blessing because I would have been at
Yes.
work suffering when this had hit me. Because, it didn't hit me until
You would have been on the
20,
road.
20 minutes into my, like into my day. So then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm so grateful could not make it to work. And someone had came that didn't sign up for the
Mhm.
shift. So they still had the 4 people. Like they still had the
Yes.
full staff working the event. So then I was like, yeah, it was a blessing that I couldn't go because I
Yes.
would have been there. I literally would have had to leave anyway.
That is God is good, is he not?
He could have took away the migraine, but yeah,
Mm-mm, baby. He can't be both.
no,
Because
he
you
can't
should
be
have been on
great.
time. He said,
They didn't say
listen,
God is. They didn't say God is great. They say
they
God
do.
is.
They
They
do.
do say that.
But hold on. Because you like couldn't take away the migraine. Okay, then you would have been late to work, baby. Some of that stuff is you.
No, no. The late to work,
He had to give you a reason. He was like, "Listen, if he's gonna be late to work, let
we
his
gotta get
boss give him some grace."
no. They didn't care. Like, and
Uh,
now they didn't care.
hmm.
One, it was fully staffed already, but then also because I got locked out, they understood like okay,
I think
but
they be when they see a text from you 20 minutes before the
and
event starts.
it's always me. It's always something going on, and I feel so bad sometimes. Sometimes, but it's like I got locked out. Like I'm just waking up, my alarm didn't go off, or like
Uh,
which I saw was a real thing.
what? My
Where
alarm
like
didn't go off.
Apple the phone doesn't go off sometimes because it doesn't want to like disturb you.
What are you talking about?
I saw a article.
Who doesn't want to disturb you, Siri? Like, what are you saying,
The phone.
girl? I don't want. I I take the phones away because the girls are saying that the phone they are they have feelings, they're
They're
sentient,
demure. They're demure
right,
and
they're
considerate.
considerate.
Right.
What? This is what late people say to justify it. No, because my phone had saw I was being peaceful in my sleep, so it didn't set off the alarm. Girl, what? And then I
Apple
guess,
alarms not
oh my
going
gosh, bro,
off.
and now he's gonna Google it. My thing is this: the audience wants to know how did you lock your front door?
I lock it at the actual thing and then I shut it. You
Oh,
have
oh, oh.
the
Nope.
whole
Please
SWAT team
don't
watching your
even
front
bring
door.
me up. Don't even
So I
bring me up.
understand you cannot you have to
I
turn
can't.
and
Yeah.
spend 40 minutes just straight locking
Mm-hmm.
your door. But some of
Mm-hmm.
us just turn it before we leave and it's enough.
So you lock the door, you turn the lock on the inside of the door, then you close the door and it's locked.
Yes.
And you see how sometimes convenience will get you. Because my door, it's not even possible for me to leave my house and lock the door behind me and leave my keys inside. I need the keys. That's crazy, Jaden. You throwing up because of a migraine it's really too much. Because headaches
It was
give
so
you, I
much.
mean, throwing up gives you a headache.
Hello. And then it was bad throwing. My mom was like, I was like, why are you throwing up so loud? She was like, did
Uh,
you call me? I was like, I'm throwing up. Like, what do you mean did I call you? I'm in active pain. It was like the throat where like my throat hurts. Like
yes.
even still.
I love the visual of you throwing up your life. Your mom be like, huh? What'd you say?
And I'm like, I'm
Do you
throwing
need
up.
did you need I'll be up in a minute, and you're just like throwing up for your
Losing
life.
it. That would be the first
Ah,
time. There was my bathroom door also would lock sometimes. Like there's no lock on the doors per se.
just
Actually,
locks.
that was a lock. There is a lock. But it wouldn't turn. Like trying to turn the knob, it would
Mhm.
not turn at all. So sometimes I'd be stuck in there for like 5 minutes just trying to open the door.
This is too much.
I'm in there one time and I'm like, hello, like trying to call for help. I opened the door. I said, did you not hear me in here struggling with this door? She's like, oh, I thought you were doing something with the handle. I said, when have I ever like played around
What
in my
does that
life with that?
even mean? Doing
Like,
something with the handle.
stop playing with me. Like you literally
Girl,
just
let's
played
not.
because you didn't want to get out the bed. Like, don't try and make it seem like
Like,
she's like, you
please.
didn't call me. I said, because I wasn't in distress just yet, but it was coming.
Let's
And
not.
then come
I
to
mean,
find out it's because one of her like she had a bag of like products hanging on the doorknob. And I realized once I took that off, I haven't had that issue since. Once I took that bag
oh,
off
because it
the
was
thing,
putting pressure on the
it was
lock.
putting pressure, pulling it down so it wouldn't be
Mhm,
able to turn all the way. Since
mhm.
then, doop, doop, like
So it's her fault.
it's literally all her fault. I could have been stuck in there because of her and then trapped because of her, like because she wouldn't get up to come out.
Come on now. She's like, girl, once you start banging on the door, then I'm gonna get up. But right now, you just
She's like,
jangling
once
my
I hear you
handle.
screaming bloody murder, fine. But until then, baby, I'm not
You
coming.
gonna have to stay in there for a little bit. That is the terrible moment of the week. I'm so glad that you're feeling better. How long? Once you woke up at 3, your headache was gone.
Not gone. It's like I could still feel the sensation behind the eye,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as intense. Like I was scared to stare at screens for the rest of the day because I also was
Um.
like, Oh, I have homework I need to get. Like
Oh,
there's still life I have to do
yes.
because there were things that needed to be done that day that were on my schedule. And luckily, work was canceled. Like when work was canceled, I was expecting to come inside.
Work was not canceled. Like, don't.
I made that up.
People,
See how that
you
works?
made that up. People were still at work. You just weren't there.
I just wasn't there.
Please.
Hmm. How'd you
Hmm.
feel like that? But work was discarded. So I was supposed to come back inside and do homework and like move on with the next part of my day.
Yes.
So to be like debilitated for however many hours and be like in such pain. Luckily, my dog, he did well
Mm.
because all he did was sleep for real. Because all I could do was sleep. You know, like I was in so much pain. It was really bad. Uh, but then next thing I know, it was like one of those things like the last thing you experience was pain, then the next thing you experience is waking up. Like at some point, I just woke up.
Yes.
And I
That's
was like, oh,
terrible. And you're like on the side of the road. Oh my gosh, I hate that. And your mom is like, "Oh, girl, I thought you just wanted a nap on the side of the road. I didn't know you was in
no. And she had
pain."
left for work. She had left me to die for work.
So she unlocked the door. She was like, "Take care." She's real for
No,
that. I'm
she came
sorry.
inside. She went and had her nap. She heard. I told her she heard me throwing up and all that. She sleeping and laying down in the bed. She was like, they asked me. They told me I didn't have to come in early or anything. I'm like, okay, girl, good. So then I'm up here like moaning and groaning and in extreme agony and extreme agony. And she's like, "You okay?" Like, girl, no. And she's like, "I left you two things. I'm going to work. Bye."
I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, she's very real for that.
She is real. I get it,
She's
girl.
she's a very
Go
real
make your
girl.
money.
Somebody got to make money. Somebody got to go to work.
Somebody in this house has to go to work.
We just got a new kitchen. Like somebody got to go to work.
Someone has to go to work.
Please. That's terrible. Let's get into the catch. Hopefully, it's better than that moment of the week, but it's not. This is where Jane and I catch you up. Well, you know what it is. Let's not. Never mind. This is the catch. The first thing is Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at Challenge Pod. Follow us on Twitter at the same name, Challenge Pod.
I don't. Is our Instagram Challenge Pod though?
If it isn't, I have been saying that for the past 137 episodes,
Yeah,
and
it is. I'm sorry.
you see how they'll doubt you when you're up. I don't get it. But speaking of doubt and reasonable doubt or whatever the thing is, last episode, I won't say last week, the last time we recorded at the very end, or maybe it was after we hit end on the recording, I don't know. I like quickly remembered and brought up the ASAP Rocky case. And I was like, I have no idea what's going on. And Jada was like, oh girl, I have to fill you in on it later. And
Now
since then, I did not look up a thing about it. I could have educated myself, but it wasn't in the look into it section of this podcast, so I didn't. I didn't look into it, but I did see Jaden that ASAP Rocky was named the first creative director of Ray-Bans. I don't know why. I don't understand that. I don't think the complexities, the nuance of the business. But basically, when I looked up what his case was about, I couldn't believe it. Just so extra. I'm
it
like,
was so extra.
girl, you got this woman on your. First of all, what I don't understand and what I couldn't gather from any of the articles I read was why were you walking around with a real semi-automatic or even a prop semi-automatic? I don't get that. Why are
I
you
don't.
walking around with a semi-automatic weapon?
I don't know. And I didn't. The actual trial seemed like folklore to me. Like nothing actually felt real about it. Like everything just seemed like Shakespeare. So I
Mhm.
don't really understand what was going on. And the reason the Ray-Ban thing makes sense to me is because he wore Ray-Bans throughout his entire trial, truly. Like every look had a pair of glasses attached to it. And it's
For
like, not
sure.
too soft launching this contract. Uh
No, that
and
makes more sense that you think it was like something that was in
it
the
wasn't to
works
do with that, but
during.
I think it was probably before
Yeah,
that he had signed off to do this thing, but they were
right.
waiting to see the results of this trial. So it's interesting
That makes
that
more sense.
I think it's cool that he wore Ray-Bans throughout the trial, and then the day after the trial is like over, he announces that he's a new Ray-Bans. Like I think that's cool in a way to like tell this kind of
For
storybook
sure.
thing. Um, but it was just a waste of time. The guy now he's a snitch, And like, you know, like now your reputation is damaged because you're a snitch. His reputation is not in harm at all because
Never
he's with
is.
Rihanna. Like, you know, you really lost this. I'm so sorry that you may not have received the justice you felt, but like, what were you really expecting from a celebrity? Like,
Unfortunately, but well, apparently they're both something of a celebrity. They're both in the group together or something
who?
like this. The other guy. But that's
Oh
the thing
yeah,
I don't understand. He was on trial because he shot at someone.
I don't know.
Because that's what I gathered when I read it. I'm like, so the bullet grazed his thumb. First of all, the aim is either immaculate, where you purposefully graze this man's thumb, or there was so much kickback on this semi-automatic that your aim sucks. Did you want to
Your
kill
aim
this
sucks.
man? Maybe that's what he's on trial for, attempted manslaughter.
I'm out.
Literally, Jaden.
Truly out.
My thing is, first of all, I mean, I've said it 100 times, if not a million. Girl, you're not embarrassed. That's your king.
And I saw something. The girls be, you know, the girls be in the astrology world. They be doing celebrity charts when things happen around them. Part of her chart is like partners dealing with court issues. Think about
Partners
Chris
in
Brown.
crime.
Think about like ASAP Rocky. They're going to tie her to like court struggles, which I just think is so. I don't think
Embarrassing.
it's long term or like forever, but it's just like interesting that in her prominent relationships, court has also played a part
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is, permanent long term because she's got those 2 little babies. They're super
in a
cute.
ring, and they're married.
Oh.
I don't know if they're officially married, but
No, no, no,
they
I don't think that's true because on the case, I did see a tweet that was something like, "Oh, is this your wife or whatever? Or is this your" what is the thing called when you were together for 7 years? Common law or like
common
I'm
law.
like, "Is that" I don't know. And very much I'm out. Like, I literally did not care at all about the case because I didn't know what was going on, and I only started caring when they did the creative director thing because I'm like, "Well, dang, can I have anything?" They just giving it away. They just giving it to any old body. Like,
Anybody.
"Okay, great. You wore Ray-Bans. Okay, cool." Like, is the brand supposed to now be synonymous with, like, beating the odds? Y'all thought you had me in the first half. Like, I don't get it. It's just a pair of sunglasses. It already like, it's just so extra. It's just so extra to me.
Very.
It's
I
cool.
agree.
It's a cool launch. I think maybe the trial was fake just for the creative director launch.
I
I
can
don't
see that as
know.
well.
But it's just so drama.
Because the whole thing was very like, okay, this is what
And
we're
then
doing.
everyone's acting like the way that I read it because I didn't know what the case was about. I'm thinking this man beat some sort of civil rights
Rico.
charge or
Yeah,
something.
like
Everybody's acting like he's freaking MLK Jr. or something. They're like, "Yes, man, we knew you could do it." Like, girl, I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm out. I'm done. I'm moving on, Jaden, unless you have something else to say.
nothing.
No, but here's something I have also out.
Hold
I'm
on.
out.
I do. Not about
Mm.
him. Did you see P. Diddy's lawyer
Yeah,
said I'm out?
girl, I did say that, and I couldn't remember if he was on our list of celebrities that we can't talk about, but I don't think he is. So I
He's
think you're
not.
good. Okay, you're good. Go
And
ahead.
I don't it's not even much to say, but the lawyer said I'm out. So
That's crazy to me.
and high profile lawyers stick through. Like they don't play like the back and forth
Girl.
like an Aaliyah record or at this point like a Halle record. Like they're not doing that. They are going to stick through and take that coin. So the fact that he was like, "Yeah, you're on your own," lets me know this is intense. Like
Serious.
there's something
Serious.
in there that he was like sacrificing babies or something.
That somebody said he must have been eating people. Like,
Literally,
girl, I think maybe it has also something to do with the webs of it all, of who all is also connected.
who all is
Like
tied
that
and
lady's
invest?
husband, I'm not gonna get into it.
No,
'Cause I'm sorry, there's just no way. We
there's
can't say things like birds of a feather and the company you keep and all these
and then be
things.
like, "Oh, it's he's
Well,
not involved."
he's not his friends. He's not his friends. But it's like, okay, well then why do we have all these cliches that we say? Which one is it?
Hmm.
Child, I'm nervous to see what comes out of this because especially because of what you shared on the podcast. What was that like a year and a half ago about
Mm-hmm.
girl, these
Whatever that
documentaries
lady
are
was
going to be
saying,
crazy. These
we'll see.
tell-alls, girl, the
We will
crumblage. The
see. Like
crumblage
truly,
begins.
it's a lot that's about to happen, especially like with not even just celebrity world, but we're our country's being ran by a celebrity. Like that's
Oh my gosh, it's
in the
just too
time of celebrity
much.
destruction, and why the witches is on Twitter like, yeah, we try to put spells on him, but he's protected. Like there's like
I hate it.
there's like a protection on him that people cannot access like manipulation onto him. And I'm like, that's
I'm sorry. We
crazy.
need somebody else. We need somebody stronger then. Y'all need to move.
Okay,
Somebody else. Get
we need
somebody else.
Beyonce. That's the real witch.
Some things are too sacred. She's not gonna get involved, you know.
Right.
But what's not sacred is the image of what it means to be American and what it means to be human. When I saw this collaboration, Jaden, I really thought it was a joke. You know, in the age of AI, in the age of everyone is a pro at Photoshop, there was no way that a Popeyes and Don Julio collab. And yes, we're definitely late. But as I said earlier, our podcast recording schedule is not consistent, so we get there when we get there. Hello. Like we never said this was like current event, like recent,
Yeah.
as in yesterday. We're just catching you up on other. Come on now, some people may not know. Popeyes is collaborating with Don Julio's in what way? I don't know at all. I don't know what that means, and Jaden also might not know. I've seen people have like what seem to be like gatherings of sorts, parties of sorts that have this Popeyes and Don Julio tie in. Um, Now, personally, I don't get this collaboration, not even just because it's like sounds like a stomach ache waiting to happen, but also I don't know that they're in the same like category in terms of like what is supposed to happen, like what the event is, what the vibe is, what the price
I'm
point
having to look
is.
right now. Okay, you're not saying anything, and you're trying to get me to sign up for something. Like, leave me alone.
No, the paywalls have to
Popeyes,
stop,
the
guys.
official wing of watching. This was about the football game. Okay, hold on.
Well, that makes
The official
more
tequila of the big
sense.
game are serving up a one-of-a-kind culinary mashup leading up to this year's big game with the release of this exclusive Popeyes and Tequila Don Julio championship lineup menu. Available for a limited time only while supplies last in 6 select restaurants for customers 21 and up. The menu blends the rich heritage of Popeye's
Mm-mm.
Louisiana style cooking with the bold flavors of Tequila Don Julio Reposado. Okay, but what were y'all doing? Like, what was the.
So it kind of sounds like one of those Taco Bells in New York's where they sell like liquor or something. Like they just are
Yeah,
selling
it
the
seems like
liquor.
it says $5 off $5 off Tequila Don Julio Popeye chicken sandwiches or Popeye's wings, courtesy of Uber Eats. Y'all are playing. Like
That feels like too much.
I feel like we're just doing anything, or it may have
Literally.
been like you can get through Uber Eats exclusive offers on Uber Eats. Get your hands on a delicious Popeyes. Yeah, like you could place an order and get $5 off a combo, and they'll stop at the liquor store and get you Don Julio. Leave me alone.
No.
Capitalism has really just like, how am I supposed to do
Warped.
anything but talk about capitalism at this point?
Hello.
They know who to target. Emphasis on target. Um,
Mm.
they are putting these two things that are both unhealthy for a community together and treating it like you're in a club. And y'all showed up with
They
bottle
did.
service.
They
Like,
did.
what are we doing here? I loved it because Black people turn anything into a means to celebrate, but I also hated it because why? Because let's not. I'm out. Like because let's not. Like, why are
Let's
we doing
not.
this? What is this about? And at some point, I think what the overarching thing for me personally is, at what point are we going to acknowledge that the world is like shifting in a way towards doom, or at least America is shifting in a way towards doom? It's been on this kind of route, but we're kind of like speeding towards it at this point, and everyone's still just trying to act like nothing is going on, and that doesn't make sense to me. How are we all just sitting here, going to work, answering emails, like turning in assignments when like they have Don Julio and Popeyes doing collabs? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's giving. We've
I
got
shouldn't even be
30
in the same group
minutes.
chat. Like, y'all aren't like, I don't get it.
I don't, they're not the same thing. I mean, maybe, you know what? It literally could be that you and I, Jaden, don't experience the same kind of like this is like maybe we just don't know. Maybe this is something that people do. Like maybe this is
Yeah,
that
maybe
like
it's
oh
like
is
a
we always go
hashtag
to
we just haven't used
Popeyes.
or seen.
Maybe we always go to Popeyes after the let out. Like maybe we always stop Popeyes before we go to the liquor store. I don't know these things to be together in any
But
other
maybe they are.
context. But maybe
Like
they
maybe it's
are.
signaling to very specific people like this thing. Well, I'm also not a Popeyes girl. Like I like
Mm.
Popeyes, but I'm not when I want fried chicken, I'm coming to my grandmother. Like I don't
Period. He
necessarily
goes
leave
home. He got fried chicken at the house.
literally, or if I'm getting like a chicken sandwich, like I'm not like, oh, I want to go to Popeye. Like that, those things don't cross my mind. So experiencing this, it was like, why are we doing this? Like I know Popeyes had a big year when they had the the spicy chicken sandwich, and people was dying over it. Like I understood that there
Literally
was a lot
dying.
around that, and it's like Don Julio, like I know they've had a big year, one with Monaleo song, but also like just a uptick in content around Don Julio. So like I get how they alchemize and I get why they chose to come together and collab. Like I'm not a nuisance. Like I get it. But I just don't think we should be doing this. Like I think there's
No.
much better things we could be doing.
Mhm.
Like eggs are $1 million. Like chickens
Eggs are a
are
million
there's the
dollars.
bird flu going around livestock. Like there are things happening and we're just acting like it's not and having sections in a fast food restaurant.
Well, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Bird flu, chicken on sale, alcohol, sterilization. Wait a minute.
No,
Huh. They wrong for that. Clearly trying to give your community, our community, flued chicken. When they said flued out, they did not mean it the way
they
that
did
you
not
girls mean
mean
it.
on planes.
They did
And
not
especially
mean
right
on
now.
blame. Hello, girl. Girl, first of all, you know what? If you the only people that I can see like doing like, oh yes, I definitely took advantage of that collab. It's just like you're an influencer. I can't imagine like a normal person just being like, oh yeah, go ahead and order me that for $5 off. Shoot, yeah.
I wish I could agree, but they were having sections in the Popeyes. Like
Regular people
regular people having
online.
sections in the Pop
But it's for the visuals of it. Like you saw it.
with bottle girls like this with your chicken sandwich. What are we doing here? Why is this happening? Why can't y'all focus on like the real world?
The
Why
minstrel
was
shows
we
are
keep doing
just
minstrel shows is the perfect like term. What are we doing? Why are we sitting here having DJs? And I'm not attuned to having like music and an eating experience. But at what point do we
Wait,
stop?
I feel like in terms of you making stuff up, you would just put a word anywhere.
Oh yeah,
I love that about you. I do genuinely. I love it. It's so good. Just say whatever. It
it
don't
keeps
even
it
matter.
interesting,
It does. Like, what do you mean by that? No context
And
clues
then
provided.
when you look it up, it's like that. Now I'm even more confused, and it's like as you should be. Like the
I'm
point wasn't for
out.
you.
Please. Like,
I'm
all
not
right, so go ahead. You're
against.
not atoned it.
I'm
Yeah.
not against. What does atone mean then? Because I
Like
swear that
to
was.
like kind of submit in terms of like forgiveness and like I atone for the sins or whatever. Like I'm gonna just
Oh,
kind of or something like this. It definitely has to do with like giving that up
forgiveness and giving.
and
Yeah.
just giving in or something like this. Maybe I don't know what it means either. That's why I just had to laugh, child. That's all I could do.
But
You're
anyway,
not against it. Go ahead.
no, I'm not against it. I'm not against creating vibes and moments, and
No.
I'm in marketing world. Like I understand the purpose, the point, the procedure, but I don't understand the reason. Like it doesn't. Besides making money, that's the only reason I got for you. And at some point, that can't be enough. Like at some point, we need to request more
Mhm.
from companies, industries. Like we need to be requesting more and not parking lot pimping collabs. Like I don't appreciate that. I don't as personally, and I'm not trying to be elitist. And if it comes off that way, it's too damn bad. Like we need better. We need more. We can't
Uh,
just be a liquor and a laugh every
just
time.
doing whatever, literally liquors and laughs. Like one part of the small part of my brain is saying, like, who cares? Just let people have fun. We live in a dark time. Just enjoy it. But it's like, baby, the dark time is fueled by these sort of things.
Yes.
Where do you think they putting this money that they made from this, from your dollars,
And I saw a
girl?
tweet where it's like, y'all letting people enjoy things has gotten us to where we are. And
Like
I'm
literally,
like
that's why it's a
actually,
small part in my brain.
you're correct. Like we've been letting people enjoy things for too long, and that's why y'all are bad at things. Like that's why these things aren't done well or done
Girl,
positive. Like people can throw things at the wall, and y'all will be in the Popeyes, like you're in the club.
Jada, what's that text even look like? What's that call even look like to get somebody to come out, dress up, put on a fit? What is
Girl, we
that?
going out tonight. Where we going? Popeyes.
Girl, be ready in
They open a
30.
new club for sailors or something.
Like,
No, girl, we
that could
going
be
to the
cute.
Popeyes to eat sandwiches
To
and watch the
eat
bottle girls.
sandwiches.
And they're standing up on the tables in the corner like they're at this in the section of the club. Like at what point does the veil remove it? Like
What?
at what point do you have to see the realness of what's going on? Like they are playing with y'all. They can do anything and y'all will like love it and fall for it. Like y'all will eat it up literally.
What does the group chat look like then when you see your homegirl on the video at the Popeyes club? Like, girl, I know that's not who I think it is.
I'm like, girl, did you go to Popeyes? Yeah, girl, it was lit.
Like, girl,
And I'm like, and y'all didn't ever realize that you're just literally standing in a Popeyes, like that you aren't in a club, and you don't hear the chicken rotisserie thing. Like, so, like at some point, you have to clear through the noise and look to the back and see the employee on their lunch break. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like at some point, it can't be.
it can't.
This is King of Diamonds, bitch. This is Louisiana chicken. Like
This
I
is
don't know
not
what
the
to tell
take.
you.
Come on, please, girl. I genuinely am shocked. I didn't think you would have so much to say about
Me neither.
Popeyes,
I
and
didn't,
I
and I
really
didn't even know
am.
I felt this way until we started talking about it. And it's like this is actually the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And we're just there.
I just can't even believe the times that we live in. It's really not fair. Like my eyes are heavy just thinking about it. It's devastating. I never saw this life for us ever. Speaking of things being seen and not seen, we
I have
can't
nothing,
stop
not much to say
saying,
about this.
"Oh no, I don't have anything to say about this." It's about this.
This, yes,
So Chloe, who we love on this podcast, Chloe of, Chloe and Hallie, she is dating Burna Boy, which
yeah.
whenever they come out with their dating situations, I never really believe it. I'm like, oh, people can't even go to dinner, but that's her man down. There have been no shortage of videos with 70 different angles of the two of them hanging out wherever the heck they're hanging out. I don't know how these people don't have anything else to do. They don't have to do work, girl. Don't you have a song to make? I don't know. We cannot stop seeing videos of them like very much enjoying each other's space and each other's touch and each other's whatever. And my because I don't care about that literally. My thing is they never really acknowledge the camera, like, obviously, they know they're being recorded, but it doesn't really give, like, "I'm in on it." Like, I love that you guys are capturing this moment and then posting it online. They're online, or at least Chloe is an online person. So she has to know that, like, "Baby, you're trending." My thing is, things like this really piss me off because it just normalizes the idea that you can just record people from 100 different angles and that it's normal for us to see such an intimate look into someone's life, whether they're normal or famous. Like, obviously, they're famous. So, but even with them being famous, it's annoying how for some reason that famousness is why we care.
Right.
Because they make great music, we are supposed to want to see her caressing his calf.
I don't care.
Why would I care? And then you know what that does? It just makes it more normal for you to record a random person in the grocery store and record somebody doing this and just posting it. And it's supposed to be normal. And looking at people, we live in such a voyeuristic society right now. And it's like really kind of disturbing. We are so beyond Black Mirror at this point.
Oh yeah.
We're beyond.
We
We're
can't
beyond.
experience life without having a phone see it first.
And this is
Like,
one of those episodes I skip because it's not fun.
and it's not fun. It's actually pretty terrifying. And I think we are able to project onto celebrities the things that we can also see in real life. Like,
Hmm.
people won't interrupt a violent situation because they're just too busy recording it, or like people will see people. That makes me think of, we talked about it a while ago when somebody was recording someone else talking, another group of friends talking about someone who wasn't present, and
Yes,
people were
and they
responding
posted
like,
it.
and then they posted about it like, oh, these people are talking about you, blah 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 blah, and it's like, that's a sacred moment between like friend groups of like someone who's probably annoying and annoying to be around, and they're trying to figure out a way to no longer talk to this person, and you're like making it an ordeal about you. But I think it's also like people want to be a part of stuff so badly that
Yeah.
has nothing to do with them. Chloe has been looking crazy with that man. Not like, not crazy as in like getting played or whatever. It's just she's been high for 28 hours straight, like, or tore up and drunk. And like they was like, she rocking because she knows she sits still, like it hurts her.
Yes.
And it's like we've all been there, but we all haven't had the camera on us when we're experiencing
No.
that. Like
No.
people are still real people at the end of the day.
Hmm.
And if you would stop recording them, you would be able to see that. Like you'd be able to experience them as a person, and then you would have more care for them as a person. But
Yeah.
you're recording their interaction, and it's like we wouldn't supposed to know they were dating. Like,
No. And why do we
like they
care?
didn't talk about it. They weren't supposed to
No.
post it. Everyone else posted it.
Yeah. I still just don't even understand what the vacation setup is. Why is everybody there? What's going on?
I don't know, but men
Yeah. Yeah.
walk around with 14 other men around them, and men are the messiest people on the planet,
Beyond.
and they
Beyond.
love a phone out and camera in your face until it's them cheating. Then it's like, but they still record that. No shade.
I know. And then when the phones get hacked, you shouldn't even have been looking through my phone, baby. There's 70 videos of you with several different people. Not even,
Not even just women.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, this whole thing is just so stupid. Like,
It's
get the camera out of people's faces.
but
Stop
it's
putting your
more
business.
than just that.
Stop putting your business on social media. That's also where I am. Like, I'm
Uh,
tired of the long stories of these instances. Like, some in a conversation around Amanda Seales, someone had talked about, I don't know, how she always says like these things that are happening to her with like Issa or these other people,
hmm,
and it's like when people look for advocacy on the internet in that specific way, not necessarily like, Palestine and stuff like that, but like in that very specific way of like, I was wronged,
hmm,
or even like Cleopatra with Ice Spice and things like
hmm.
that. What happens is you don't know what the response will be. So like you're putting this out to try and get justice, but you have no idea if people even agree with what you're saying, or like, like you're coming to us and what are we supposed to do about it? Like you're trying to, when you do that, you're trying to send an attack for, not to say you can't call out an incident or you can't speak up on whatever, but there are so many dynamics at play when you do that, that everyone is questioning intention, everyone is questioning, what could or what did happen behind the scenes, or if you're not telling the full truth and I've got to wait for the other person. Like, everybody shut up.
Everybody just mind your business.
Like,
Because that's
go
the
to
other
people, the
thing.
channels who can help you in real time.
Learn. Learn something from this, like she
We were
said.
rooting for you.
Hello, all of us. My thing is, if because okay, the guys are going to continue to record, but the only thing that we can control is what we do. So just scroll past it.
I do.
If they
Every time I
get
see
if
her,
they
I'm
get
like, scroll.
views, they're gonna keep going. I just scroll because I'm like, girl, I can't watch this anymore. Cute, lovely, beautiful gowns. I guess
And
love
I
it.
don't care. I really, like, me
Mm-mm,
personally, I'm realizing more and more, I really do not care. I
mm-mm.
muted recently, stand Twitter down. Like,
Mm.
I muted Nicki Minaj, the Barb's, Beyonce,
Ooh,
the Hive,
ooh. Oh, it's
Rihanna,
serious.
the Navy, Lady Gaga, the Monsters. I muted everything. I don't want to see. I don't
It's
care. Leave me
serious.
alone. Like, leave me alone. I'm trying to divest from like this celebrity culture, and like I don't care about what y'all talking about. Like,
No.
niggas out here trying to survive and then also like chase their dreams and whatnot, and all y'all can talk about, like, did you see when um Me Feeder? I don't understand. I don't know the name. It's like the uh magazine.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
Uh,
Don't ask me what it's called,
I
but
can't
I
think
know
of
what
it.
you're talking about.
Where they was like, who's the most overrated artist, whatever, and then the two
Yeah,
women said Beyonce. Um, why did they delete that post? Because they got so much backlash
yeah,
and made a long response to it. I'm
yeah.
like, are y'all kidding me?
Girl,
Y'all have to stop.
girl.
What are we doing here? Why are we a magazine made content and people said that they thought Beyonce was overrated? Like, who cares? Like, who cares? Even people talking about like Dolce right now around not masking and being sick thing, because she can get
That
cussed
was
out for that.
nasty.
She can get cussed out for
That was
that.
really
But
nasty.
they're like, she eating Nicki nachos. I'm like, okay. Like, if all roads lead back to Nicki, why are we surprised when these girls sound like Nicki? I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't get that either because they don't. Well, we already know why, but they do not do the same thing for men, male performers,
They
male
do not.
creatives. But my other thing is like, okay, is that not like the true like show of your legacy, of your impact? Imitation is the best form of flattery.
But they're like, she unfollowed her when her and Meg was going back and forth. I'm like, okay,
'Cause okay, we
that's
don't.
what I'm
We
saying.
literally do not know what else is going on.
So we don't like, y'all don't, and that's the other thing. Like, y'all don't know.
They don't know these
That
people.
is always it for me. I'm like, y'all have no idea what's going on, and y'all make things up
They make it
based
up.
on actions that people make that you also don't know.
You
You
don't
don't know these people. You don't know them at all. I don't care how long you listen to their music. I don't care how long you've been a follower of them. If you have the post notifications on, if you know the name of the 6 generations before them, you don't know them. You don't know. And everything you say is making things up. And even when they say things, there's always two sides to a story. There's always things that, because they also were probably making decisions based off things they don't know. Like,
know.
y'all don't know what y'all are talking about, and then y'all put these people on these pedestals where they are not allowed to like make mistakes to y'all, or like they can't be held accountable, or like anybody who comes into contact with them is also at fault. I don't care. I literally don't care. And I think y'all are starting to get a little weird and aggressive because y'all aren't able to face the reality of this world. So you're trying to fully invest in like this third realm
Yes,
of celebrity
yes.
culture because you can't take into account your actual fucking life.
Because
Like
she
your
has
actual life.
nothing else going on. She needed a storyline.
And so they gave her one. Like, and so y'all continuously give her one, and then the Dolce thing more specifically because they're like, she just sounds like Nicki. I'm like, okay, but she said that was
Okay.
one of her influences. Like she has claimed that several times.
But you know
And
what's
it's
weirder? She sounds like Nikki, sure, but what original thing have you done? You use
but
AI to send emails.
you use AI like your friend. If
Your
I see one
AI
more
is a
person,
therapist. That's
if
crazy.
if I see one more person like, oh, I asked AI if I responded to this correctly.
I
Okay.
asked AI to tell me what year we landed on the moon, baby. You can just Google that.
And so a friend who watched our podcast, she asked me like, why are y'all so against AI? And I told her
Uh,
like, the behind the scenes stuff, like the power usage, the slave
labor,
labor in order to program it. And also just the person, like, people are becoming debilitated because they're not actively using their brain or thinking critically about anything. They let services and whatnot do it for them, which over time will dumb us down. Um,
which is the goal.
and she had talked about like her having to use it for her job, and like she's on a 2-person team that is expected to be like an 8-person team, and
Yeah.
AI has saved them time and effort. And I'm like, I'm not telling you not to use it for those reasons. Like, I understand that, but you are the exception to the rule. Like, that's not the main people using it though. And I think that's where my issue is. Like, if it were people saying like, I really just need it because my job, da, 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 I'm like, that's actually you need to have a company change, or like
Right.
the integral part of what is expected of y'all needs to be changed. But I understand companies are not trying to hear that. They're like, I'm not
But
trying to
that's
hear all that
even
right now.
worse. No, but that's even worse. That's all more of a reason to
Why you
hate
not?
AI
Because they think you can do it.
because
They
your
think
job is like
you're going to be
just
able to do it.
just use AI. and then you do, and then that you when you do the work, when you meet that goal, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me when I yes, guys, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to do it. It reminds me when I read Zombie by Audre Lorde, and when she started her job, everyone would work so slow, and
It's
she don't even
downstairs.
don't even pick it up. Don't even pick
It's
up my book.
downstairs. It's
She
downstairs. I
worked
was looking for it.
it should be in my library, but go off. She's everyone's like working so slow, and she's like, I don't know how they can only produce this certain amount of things in this 8 hour span. So when she gets in there, she is doing the work. She's producing triple of what they can. And then everyone's mad at her. And she's like, why are you guys mad at me? I'm doing the thing. It's like, because now that you've shown the boss that you can do this, they're only going to continue to expect you to like to meet and exceed that goal every single time. So obviously, some companies you're not going to change overnight, but like if you continue to meet the goal of 8 people with your 2-person team because of AI or because you're overworked and underpaid, your boss is only going to continue to expect more. Baby,
Yeah.
you got to do less and not make all the goals, or you're
I
not going to get
when
your team
people
bigger.
are over ambitious at work. I'm like, a job almost never requires that much of you besides like day to day, like in person, real life things. But like, if you're like at a desk doing assignments and paperwork, you could probably get a lot of things done in a day. That doesn't mean you should. Like, make your thing take 3 days to do. Because
Mm,
when you can get 14 things done in a day, you are always expected to do 15 things.
yeah. And that's kind of my problem at work as well. But so for this, yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to continue to hate on AI. I'm sorry. I know it works out for you, baby,
I
but
hate it.
I'm
They're
sorry.
homies. And I tell people like AI is not all the same thing. It's another word that we use generally when there are different facets of it.
Yes.
Generative
I was
AI
just about to say
is the
generative and
problem.
something else. There's another one, but I
Yeah.
can't.
And then but the AI that like I don't think it's a problem for a database to help you create some type of like plan or thing. But I'm like, there's been plans on Google. Like a lot of these things have been here made by real people that have that's where AI is getting their information from. You just don't want to do the work. And a lot of the work around what you're doing will alchemize a better response or like the response you're working toward because you're mixing like research and effort with like the skills or the templates and the assistance that you may get from an online service. So
Templates are everything.
going straight to AI frustrates me because it's not helping us. Like it could be helpful, but as of right now, it is not helping us. And y'all are relying on it to be your friend, your therapist, and your like coworker when it is relying on you to surveil you. Like it's getting all your information, you're telling all your deepest. And I think we're already in a surveillance state. It's hard to have privacy. Like privacy isn't really a thing, but why give it up? Like why give it up even more if you literally don't have to?
No,
Hmm.
sorry, girl. I hope
I'm
that
out.
answered her question.
Truly.
No, like let's not. Like I hope that answered her question of why we don't like it. You might have to have a conversation with your manager because that's
Love,
not right.
love you down, babes. And she's probably gonna watch this episode. She knows I love her.
No, for
But
sure. That's not hate. Like
this
that
has nothing to do.
sucks.
Yeah,
That
yeah. This
sucks that
is
your boss expects you to do
it's
the work
literally
of 8
unfortunate.
people.
Like it's actually unfortunate that you have to rely on this database that is killing the planet using
Yeah,
slave labor in order like it kind of lets you know the cycle of capitalism. Like you're always going to have to step on someone to do
for
anything
sure. For
in this
sure.
world. Hmm.
Well, that was the catch. I feel pretty caught up,
Me
honestly. So
too. That was good.
that
I
was
enjoyed that.
good. That was fun. I hope we got some laughs in there. I don't know. It felt pretty heavy at the end. So now it's time for take it or leave it. Might get some laughs in this. This is where people write into us if they're feeling brave. They ask us questions for advice. Sometimes they give us good juicy stories. This is a good juicy story, I think, because it was
Hmm.
long. If you want to tell us your juicy story, get advice on it, or you have a simple question, you can email us at childanywaypod at
This long
gmail.com. The only question that we are no longer accepting is self
self
help.
care.
We don't do or self care. We can't answer that question anymore because we already did it. Our producers are, hold on. Yeah, our producers are telling us we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, they said let's not.
Literally, the producers are like, I'm out if you do it again. Let me see if I can open this. Why can't I tap the
I have it open.
screen? All right, so okay, you think you're better than me? You got it open. What you want to read it?
No,
Exactly.
I can.
Okay, go ahead. Since you got your
Do you want to
degree.
read it? Go
No,
ahead. It seems
girl,
like
I
you're
don't need to
excited to
read.
read it.
No, my thing is, because it's long, I just feel like I don't know. Me reading it and you reacting is entertaining to me
Okay,
because
go ahead.
I did read it, so
Okay,
I'm
obviously,
not
yeah.
gonna be surprised.
No.
All right, so here it goes. Ciao. I hope y'all have advice for my mess because I am in some mess and I have 3 weeks to figure it out. So
Ooh,
it's we really do need to
we're
Jaden,
on
I'm
time.
not playing.
We're
The
timely with
produce
this.
yes, we are. I just got this yesterday. The producers are telling us we need to drop this episode when it is scheduled to drop.
Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow or
Thank you.
at some point.
Girl, we got 3 weeks to figure it out. Okay. My best friend and I have known each other for 16 years since college. I'm not quick
Okay.
math, that's about 38. She was the maid of honor in my wedding and is my thank you for doing the math behind my back. She was the maid of honor in my wedding and is my child's godmother. We live about 2 hours away from each other, so we don't get to see each other as often as we did before. Adult life these days, I need 3 days to reply to a single text, real. She started
Yes.
dating a guy from work, important, about 2.5 months ago and is head over heels, also important. She talks about him constantly. I've never seen her attached this soon. Like she's not like this normally. After a string of bad relationships, broken trust, cheating, the whole nine, she is
Of course.
finally happy dating again, baby. The other shoe is about to drop so hard because of this context. Okay, I'm naturally I wanted to vet this guy before she falls deeper in love. He doesn't have a social media, so I couldn't do any sleuthing by traditional means. After teasing her that he must look like Quasimodo because she hadn't sent me a picture yet, she finally did. I'm sick. I wish I hadn't probed. I recognized him immediately as my old DTF from my college days. Y'all, my head is spinning. Our relationship was purely physical, no conversation, no coffee dates, just leave your panties at the door energy. I'm screaming. Talk about a small world. This guy actually went to the same college as me and my best friend, but our circles didn't overlap,
Mm,
so she never knew him. I thought she thought that was such a cute little missed connection. Like I said, he and I knew one another intimately. He transferred after a semester, so our time together was short lived, but great while it lasted. Small world, even smaller. Ooh, girl. He and I worked in the same, and we work in the same industry, and I attended the same conference a little over 9 years ago. Neither of us were seeing anyone, so I don't need to tell y'all what happened at the conference day one, day two, or day three. No learning, I see. Let me tell y'all something. This man used to make my toes coil, not even curl, coil. That's a tight curl. So basically, we've never been in the same room without ending up naked because before the night is through. Anyway, I haven't seen or spoken to him since the conference. Fast forward, my husband and I have been together for 6 years and share a beautiful life. Sidebar, we also weave
we also have weave.
Oh, we also have weave destroying sex. Oh my gosh, girl.
Like, please.
Let me read that again. Sidebar, we also have weave destroying sex. I know how to pick them, she says. So this isn't about that. My best friend and my calendars finally synced up and we're meeting for dinner in 3 weeks. Ever since I saw the picture of her new boo and realized it was Mr. Third Leg, I've been trying to figure out how slash if to tell her. And oh yeah, she wants to make it a double date. So I'll be seeing him soon, and I'm supposed to go to dinner and act like I don't know him. What if he sees a picture of me and tells her first? Am I supposed to sit across from somebody who used to have me oh girl so somebody used to have me crawling up walls and pretend we don't have a past? With her relationship history, I know there's no way she'd be able to move past this. What if she's stigmatized and I'm the one who gets cut off?
Which
Oh,
will
that's
likely be the
that's
case.
so freaking real. What if she says, I've slept with her man
That's not gonna happen.
Oh, and she has to sleep with mine to make it even. I don't know. I'm going crazy. Why did it have to be him? I feel like I'm ruining her chance at a long-term relationship. I don't want her or my husband to be worried they can't trust the two of us. Especially don't want my husband thinking I want a little blast from the past. As you can see, I'm spiraling and I need help. Is there any way she'd be okay with the fact I've seen him in nothing but a pair of socks? I don't want to lose my best friend.
Mm,
Mm. Go ahead, Jaden.
I think this is very tricky,
Yeah.
and I don't even think like because like she said, like she's moved on. Like it's not that she's trying to re-pursue him or like this is like a link that she wanna because they haven't contacted each other. It's really by chance that they run into each other.
Yeah.
But this is another chance. Like it keeps
Mhm.
being these chances that pop up. I think you actually have waited too long to say something,
Yeah, I
and
think
you should
so.
have said something the moment the picture came through.
I
Because
agree.
now it will look maybe a little sketchy. You could always say like, "I really didn't know how to tell you because I know you like him because of the like I don't want you to feel in kind of way, and I've been trying to figure out the best way to go about it." But I don't think you should wait until y'all see each other.
No.
I think you can call her and be like, "Okay, girl, like I've been really struggling with this and trying to figure out how to do this, but I just want to let you know, like I have messed around with him on several occasions. Like I think being clear and forthcoming with as much information as possible. Maybe not details the way you given to us, because girl, like,
But I appreciate it.
because no shade, I want to see the nigga. I want to, I want to turn too.
You want to see what all the fuss is about. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
like, and let me shut up. But I mean, let's do it.
Please, 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 please.
Like, she might have ate with that one. Double date, chop. First of all, the first time y'all seen each other in a while, I'm not doing a double date. Like, girl, it's time
No,
for us
no.
to specifically to catch up. I'm not bringing no man. I'm sorry,
Mm-mm. Mm.
but I don't know what's gonna happen because if you do lose your best friend, that's not your best friend. Like, no shade, over man,
Yeah,
over man,
no.
over man. Like, I understand.
Two
Like,
and a half months though. Like that's not even, girl. That's
girl, that's not even the first trimester.
come on. That's
Like
literally
you
two
can't
weeks
even tell
short.
other people you pregnant yet. Like that's not even time for nothing to really like follow
Yeah,
through. So
yeah.
I think you should do it now, like sooner. Cause Dick plays a role into the love. Like she may feel head over heels, but it's because he's inserted himself into her that adds so much to it. But I don't think worrying about it more than doing something about it is going to be useful here. Like
No.
tell her now. Don't you hear this? Call her. Like, don't you hear our
Don't even wait
response?
for the rest of it.
Don't
Just
even wait for that.
pause
Like,
it.
at this point right now, pause it, call her and tell her. Or text, like, I don't care how you do it, but like, let her know that this happened because the longer you wait, the more she's going to fall for him and the harder it's going to be. Not to say she even has to leave him or like it has to be a huge, or
No.
like, no one's saying like they have to stop talking. I think you need to have a conversation with your man and with her. Like, babe, tell me why so and so is someone I used to mess with. Don't tell him how good it was and all that, because that's a lot. And but like someone I used to mess with every on in college at this conference, because that needs to be handled on its own about you and your man. And you need to also like comfort him and tell him like, but babe, like I want to let you know the ways that you may think I feel about him is actually how I feel about you. Like,
But Jaden,
I know,
th-
I know, I
just
know,
to
I know.
stop you there though, because you know how men are with their egos, he's going to want to know how he measures up. Uh, what is your play there? Lie, omit the truth, or just be honest and also take that time to gas your man up as well? What's your play there?
I think, be honest,
Okay.
a man's
Yeah.
ego should never be that big. And you said you know how to pick them, and like you're having great
Yeah.
sex. You're having great sex right now. So like bringing up sex you had with someone else that was also good, like Why does that matter? Um, and it was so long ago. 9 years ago was the last time,
3 years
and then
before
before
her and
that,
her man were together, though.
but that's 3 years of getting over someone who you don't even like. It don't seem like
Yeah.
y'all have each other's numbers, or like you may have it for the times that you hooked up, but it don't seem like y'all been texting or y'all have had contact outside of these very specific instances where y'all
Mhm.
ran into each other.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think, if of course emotions play huge roles, and I don't know the people involved, but like if we were looking at facts on a piece of paper, like literally how we're looking at it right now, it's not that big a deal. Like, you're going to have great sex at different points in your life before you find the person you're going to be with for the rest of your life. Like, that happens, and
Yeah.
that's the normal.
Mhm.
So treating it like it's some like huge ordeal. Oh, fucking K, bitch, I went to Disney World when I was 9. Like, okay, like, what does that matter now? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter now because I can go to Six Flags tomorrow and still have fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't, it doesn't truly mean anything more than what you make it mean. But the fact that you're treating it like it's going to end all your relationships is making it a thing. You know, like, if you treat
Yeah.
it a little more casually, that's what making me think like it's maybe more than what you're leading on, or like you're having a little bit of delusion around how you're treating or like looking at these situations. Because if it wasn't that big of a deal, you would have said it already. Like, if it was really just like, oh, we hooked up and and I understand she's been in rough relationships and been cheated on, but cheated is about trust, and you're her best friend, and now you're getting involved with it, and it's her trust for you going to waver, and it's like, that's a conversation that y'all need to have. Like,
Yeah.
nothing's going to happen where you're silent about it. Like, that's not going to work. You know, I've learned that the
No.
hard way, child.
I love Paddling the Hard Way. It's a good song. But my thing also is, and you absolutely, unfortunately, this is bad advice, but it's the truth. And sometimes you have to hear the truth first. You already wrong for waiting for so long, girl. That's
You
not going to
are.
play. That's not going to play in your favor at all. Like, I don't like it's so movie, it's so cinematic to be like, let me just wait. Girl, just tell her immediately because you're gonna have to then like obviously you can't go back, but if anyone else is listening, just tell them the truth immediately because if you don't, then you're going to have to explain away first the actual situation, but then you're also going to have to spend time backpedaling on why you waited because then it adds more weight to everything you're saying that you waited. Yeah, I know
Right.
those sounds like the same word, but if you because you're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, then why'd you wait?
Right. Then
Well, because I
why haven't
didn't
you said
know that
anything?
how you would take it if well, girl, if it meant nothing to you, why would I even be good now? Now I'm thinking that what were you first of all to even give such a freaking 2002 option of a rom-com to have a should I just wait till he says something and just show up to the double date, girl? What? When has that ever worked out for
No.
you to just say nothing and wait for the man to be the spokesperson? Because he might have you out here looking crazy. Like he was with you and then you was trying to ask for too much. But you know, babe, I'm not even like that. I ain't want her just to downplay the whole, like he might drag
He's
you
a
just
man.
to make himself get more of her trust, you know? I think that honestly, it's definitely a little bit awkward. The fact that you
I
guys
I
knew
do
him in
think
the
it's
same
awkward.
way.
I do think it's awkward, especially when your friend has had sex with someone you are not like. I'm not saying it's going to go well. I'm not saying it's going to be easy or like a super fine line of like, this is what's going to happen. This was. It's really up to be anything. But the longer you wait, the worse that outcome is going to be, regardless of what it is. Like,
Yeah.
she's going to be uncomfortable that you've seen her man naked and you've experienced him in more ways than one. Because, and what I also see happening is this being used in the future. Like, anytime
Oh, yeah.
there's a issue with you and him or you and her, like, it's going to be brought back up and
Yeah.
thrown in your face, or it's going to like, it's going to keep presenting itself. But what's going to be worse? So now I'm thinking you shouldn't say a damn thing.
Good thing she paused it and took the first advice because,
Yeah,
girl,
yeah, me too. Because I'm like, now I'm thinking maybe you should shut up. Like, because and he's not gonna say anything. No shade.
no,
He's not gonna say anything.
he's gonna
As
wait for
like, he's
you.
really not. And he's actually might test to have both of y'all. Like, and what's sad is
Hello.
men will do that, but I just don't know. Because why doesn't he have Instagram? Why doesn't he have social media? Like
Number
those are
one.
those are other things that I was looking. Be quiet.
Mm, mm.
Because
Yeah, you get your girl together. I think the easier conversation, and this one I genuinely don't know why this one wasn't already was it's the one with your husband. That's easy.
truly,
Like who
because
cares? Everyone
I
has a
think
past.
you should really go to him trying to also figure out what to do about it. Like I think that's the perfect person to have that conversation like
Yeah.
with. Like one, have the conversation of, babe, why is so and so messing with someone I mess with? Like da da da. Like I'm struggling because one, I was nervous to tell you because this person's gonna be in their life, and I don't want you to think anything. But also, like I'm struggling to tell them because the last January she was dealing with this, and right after that she dealt with this, and it's like it's a lot going on. So I don't want to take this from her, but it's like you're taking things from her by not sharing things with her. Like you're robbing her of the opportunity to have a full, uh, be able to create full decisions because she doesn't have the full truths or like the full things going on in her life.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that when you tell your husband though, I maybe wouldn't say that you were nervous to tell him because then maybe I'm an overthinker, but I'd be like, why were you nervous? What was there to be
That's
nervous
true.
about? What unless you and your husband also have things, trust issues. But my other thing is, unless your character already is that of you kind of give backstabbery, you give slip, like, because your best friend obviously knows more about you in some regards than your husband would. So,
Yeah.
unless your best friend already knows what kind of girl you are and how you get down, like if you've double dipped back on your husband and things like that, then she knows it's not above you to do these things or outside of your character. But
Yeah.
if you have only proven yourself as like
I don't play
loyal,
like that.
yeah,
Like
like I don't
the
even do that, girl. I don't even have hope. Like then your best friend, as far as you're concerned, like how your dynamic stands, y'all should be good. But then the other thing, because she's also seems to be concerned about the fact that like she would hate for this truth to impact who she believes to be her man, like the man of her dreams or whatever. But my thing is,
mm,
if this is gonna end it, then that must not be the man for you. I mean,
and
you would be hard
what is six
pressed.
years of marriage? Like if this thing
Yeah.
that was in the past 9 years ago, like 9 years ago could stop a 6 year marriage, then baby, it was a child. Like
Yeah, no.
I
Or a
think
16-year-old friendship.
like exactly like for a man that's not even like having sex with you now, and you're also it's not like you are complaining that like I wish I had that old thing back. It's like you're also very well taken care of currently,
Yeah.
and your best friend probably knows this. Like you have probably talked to your best friend plenty of times about like the sex you're having now and how great it is and how much you
I
love your
agree.
man and your man and your man. She's probably in your wedding. Like there's probably so much about your current relationship that you're not standing on and like like relying on, and you should investigate why.
Yeah.
Like why aren't your relationships at a point to where like you didn't feel comfortable immediately coming out and saying this?
Yeah. That's true.
I just want to
Yeah.
investigate that.
16 years of friendship, that's a long time.
It's for me to be like mess with a man
For 2
and
months.
mess with a man 18,000 years ago, then 12,000 years ago, and now you're with him today, and I'm like, I don't know how to tell her. 1,000 years ago, like I told, girl,
Girl, old news, old
remember
tea.
that man from high school that I said was putting me through the wall? The one you sent me the picture, that's him.
My one concern is this is where I start slipping back into season 4 kind of messy behavior advice. My question is, why were you able to so quickly recall how long ago? All these time stamps from this man. You got all these visuals, all these details. Why is your memory so crystal clear on your time with him?
Girl, because
Girl,
you remember.
girl, girl, girl,
I'm like, I can
girl.
tell you why.
Move your bang, please,
I can
please.
tell you why.
For you to
Because
be writing it all down, girl.
when you remember the inches, you remember the dates.
Yeah, because for her to say, first of all, she's nasty. She's nasty. Not even nasty like filthy. She's nasty like trifling. To call her best friend's man Mr. Third Leg. Unless she told you that that's what he's called, girl, we don't need you to remember that.
We
Like
don't
you're
need you
gonna,
to
you
remember.
obviously remember, Jaden. I'm not saying she shouldn't remember, But I'm saying
No,
for you to make it known that
for
you
for
remember.
you and for you to romanticize it,
Like, hello?
you're kind of sick.
She's sick. She's nasty. That's nasty. The picture of your new boo is Mr. Third Leg. Girl, but I think it all, actually I'm lying because that kind of goes to the playfulness of their friendship. And it could literally be like that. Like, girl, oh yes. Yeah, he was
Right.
fine, but clearly it didn't work out because that's also the thing. If the only thing that you got from that man was physical, and with you and your husband, you are very much satisfied in that regard, there's literally nothing else he can give you.
No.
There's nothing. What does he have that I don't already have? It's
And
not like he was a good conversationalist. It's not like
but
he made me
I get it
laugh.
though. I truly get it. No
No, I
shade.
get it,
I
but I just want
get
her to breathe and just
the
say it.
I do want her to just say it because it's not helping her.
No.
I'm starting to understand the hesitation more because there are going to be more instances where they will like because this seems to be a theme,
Hmm.
they're going to be tested again. Like
Yeah.
they work in the same industry. Y'all met each other at a conference at one like it's going to be a time where your partners are going to be concerned about where y'all are and what y'all are doing because y'all gonna be missing at the same
Hmm.
time. And you could be helping him plan his proposal to her, but it's not going to leave her brain that y'all did this thing. But I want to know why she struggles so much to even show him to you,
True.
which
He must
happens
be out there.
when, but happens when people know that the person they're showing it to will not have good things to say. Not necessarily about their looks or whatever, but about the behavior. Like
Yeah.
she may be not telling her things about things he's done to preserve like her relationship or her
Mm.
views of the relationship. Because my best friend of 16 years, I'm sending that photo. Like
First
I'm
date.
showing the photo. I'm talking about him. I'm la 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 la. And I'm also a very private girl, so like I get waiting to launch, even to
But that's
like
not even
post.
a launch. That's your best friend. Even if it's a flop, it's not like your best friend's gonna like
It's like
pull up an
why am I
Instagram
talking to him
post.
to the like sometimes I'll
Yeah.
wait like 3 weeks before I tell my best friend.
Mm.
Only because sometimes I feel like if you talk about it too soon, it can fuck the whole thing up. So
That's true as well.
I understand like waiting a short amount of time to share, but they've already been dating for 2 months and you're 2.5 months and you're just now getting a picture. She's trying to hide him from you as well.
You know what my favorite storyline in the movie is when she already knows and she just waited for you to tell her.
And she waited for you to say something.
Baby, she saw him in the back of your old Facebook pictures from college. Stop. Stop. She put two and two together.
This is so like crazy.
So the advice is you gotta tell her. Well, first tell your husband. Um,
And console
yeah,
him.
tell your husband first. And he really husbands sometimes they can give good
Get it
advice, I
right.
think.
Yeah,
So
sometimes they
I
get it
think
right.
he might be able to
Just
give you
about
some good
men.
advice. He knows you, obviously, and he knows your best friend. He also has I hate when people say this, but he also has the male perspective.
Yeah. Which
And that can help.
yeah, could.
Might. Regardless, girl, there's no world in which the answer and solution are to keep it a secret. So
No.
however you tell them is up to you,
For a
but
brief
you
second in there, that
must.
was the answer. But it was a brief second.
That was your doubt spilling into our podcast because we knew from the beginning.
Immediately.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
No.
Uh Definitely keep out the details because I don't necessarily
She's
love
going
how
to
you
ask. So once again, is she to be honest?
yeah. If they're like, oh, it was and it's so good. Like I don't think
Yeah,
y'all should
don't lead
be
with that. No.
I don't think y'all should talk like over highlight reels and whatnot. Like, I don't think that should happen in any conversation that you're happening about and having about this. But I don't think it's
That's tricky. I actually think maybe they should she if her friend does ask, she shouldn't even say anything
look
actually.
honestly, girl. If you got
Girl,
it, you know what I'm gonna say.
no, no, that's even too much.
No, no,
Literally,
no. You
girl, that
have
was
to.
9
You
years
have to. You
ago.
have to. Because
Girl.
if you're not forthcoming about everything, it's too late. Even if she can't like stop thinking about it, whatever. It's like, girl, it was good, but you know my man is good. Like
Better.
I'm not.
Yeah.
You know my
Yeah.
man is better. Like
For me, better for me. Let's be specific.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
you
Because
naturally you think it you know.
yeah,
That's tricky because I feel like I just don't want it to reach a thing there where now your best friend doesn't feel like she can tell you about her hair being split off the edges or whatever the girls were saying. You shared about your husband, and she can't even share because she feels like you already know. Been there, done that.
But I also think, ooh, the best friend should break up with him. That's also been on my mind. Like,
Hmm.
I don't think after finding out she should stay
Mm.
with this man
I obviously don't.
because
You don't think that that should be what the friend suggests, though.
no,
She
no,
should
no.
come
I
to
don't
that
think
on her own.
the friend has to just tell what her experience is, but it's up to her to do whatever. But if she wants to write into the podcast, I would tell her break up with this man because
Yeah.
not because your best friend can be trusted, but these men cannot be trusted.
No.
So even and for your own sanity, because I know your brain is not going to be able to fully get over that, and there will always be a sense of you that questions like the truth of what's still going on to this day. Like even
Yeah.
if they could tell you they're not talking, double dates are going to be weird. Like any relationship milestones are going to be weird. Like where you're going to be around, it's going to be awkward and frustrating. And to save all of that, it may be best to just end it.
Yeah, you might be right.
So that's my
Yeah.
thoughts.
That was nice. I agree with everything that we said except for that little brief second where it was said that we should not
We
tell.
should not say anything.
I actually, it's tricky because the best friend is not going to break up with this man, and you already know that, Jaden.
No,
She's
she's not.
going to endure for however many months or however many years, and when and if she breaks up with him, then she'll write into the podcast, and we'll, have to help her through it. But if what the writer is saying is true about this man, Mama's not going nowhere.
No.
She's not going nowhere. No. I hope that was helpful. I think it was. You've got 3 weeks to figure it out, but we've already figured it out for you. You gotta tell. You know what? The
Regardless,
question, you know
tell
what?
sooner.
Here's the thing though. How to even have that conversation? Because we just keep saying, tell, 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 tell. How does that conversation even look? Go ahead, Jaden. I'll be the best friend and you can be the one that is telling. Go ahead.
That's telling. Um,
Look at him already sweating.
well, I think it needs to be. I don't know because you need to tell her before you see her in 3 weeks. But I wish you could
Obviously.
see her sooner than those 3 weeks. You know, I wish
Mm-hmm.
y'all could see each other sooner. But I know y'all schedules really align at the 3 week mark. But
Mm-hmm.
even if you do tell her when you do see her, I don't think, regardless of if you were or not, y'all should be doing a double date. I don't think
No.
that needs to be happening. You need to catch up with your best friend alone. And then I would tell her then, because I really think food, a plate, like things should be
Public.
kind of present, public, but also like ambiance. Like you should already be creating like a joyous environment. So when you
Yeah.
tell her, it's like I've really been struggling, and like I've been like trying to figure out how to bring it up. Trying like you could even explain like I've been struggling because it's not a big deal, but because I've taken so long, it feels like a big deal now. And also, I don't want this to affect you and him or you and me, but this happened. Like this happened. It was this long ago. I don't haven't seen him or heard from him in those 9 years until you sent that picture. And like it made me upset because I wanted to tell you immediately, but I didn't want I know what this means to you. Like it almost has to be like you want her to know like everything I've done at this point has been out of trying to like preserve how you feel, but
Mm-hmm.
also like not ruin how you see him or me
Mm-hmm.
because it was so long ago that it really doesn't matter. But because you told me so long ago, it kind of does matter. You
You've
showed the
made it a
picture like
thing.
so long ago, like it's kind of become a thing. Regardless, I mean that still didn't answer what we were trying to do. Um, so tell me, so before you tell me about your man, I do want to tell you like something that happened. But
Okay, I'm sorry,
I'm
like,
off for
did you
drama.
get in
I'm
a
off for
car
drama.
crash? Like, this is
I'm off
so
for drama.
scary.
It was like, no, but when you sent him, it was like he looked so familiar. And then I realized that in college, remember the boy who I said like I was hooking up with and he like left and like that was him. And she's like, and then remember 9 years ago when I went to that conference and I ran into the boy, that was him, girl. No. Like you have to like,
Yeah,
you know,
that's true, and if what she says
sheify
is
it.
true, then she would already know that, girl, it wasn't nothing but a quick little
And
something.
the friend already
She
knows
should
that.
already
Like,
know that, you
she
know?
already knows that, girl, we was hooking up and it was good. And then I
That was
left
it.
and found my man 3 years later. Like,
It was
I
nothing.
wasn't, it wasn't like
Yeah.
a heartbreak situation where we broke up or we were sleeping together and we kept having occurrences where we were sleeping together. It was like, and now I have a man that I can sleep with anytime I want. So I don't want you to feel like I would ever. It's like, first of all, you know me, and you know that's not my Bob. That's not how I carry
No.
things. But I just wanted to give you the information so you knew, and you would never be caught off guard by, like, if he saw me and did recognize me, or like, those things can happen. So it's like you never want that to have space to be, and you hadn't said anything prior to.
Yeah, unfortunately, you do need to be the first one to tell because inevitably, I'm imagining your man has seen your best friend and he didn't say anything either. So you've cleared your name, but now he has to clear his as to why he didn't say anything already. So if it's the reverse where he tells you and you're just like, well, how come I haven't gotten a text from her about it yet? Then it's way 3,000 times
But
worse.
I'll also say men do not be remembering.
Dang. She also didn't speak on her own experience, like how she is with these performances. She's only speaking on their performances, so maybe it gives not memorable.
Because it's also like, if he has such good, like, dick or whatever, you were the only one to receive it. And I bet you the list is long as the dick. So he probably is like, when?
Uh, who?
Let's
No, not hold on. Now I'm hurt.
Latavia, what's your name? My name's Ashley. Ashley, that's it. Like, he probably won't even remember.
Actually, that would be really embarrassing. Now she's gonna have to write back into the podcast on how to process those feelings. That's embarrassing.
That is
But
embarrassing.
yeah, I think you absolutely. Unfortunately, I don't even think that you're gonna have to wait for the food, girl, because get the ambience out of here, the ambiance, whatever. Because girl, if you wait for those 3 weeks, and on this chance you get a man that decides to be honest, girl, you're done.
You're
You're
done.
It's over for you. If he tells first, you're done. You're done.
I think, honestly, at this point, since he waited this long, she could wait the three
No,
weeks.
no, I don't think she can. Three, girl, 3 weeks sitting on this. So every time we had a conversation, you were holding this information out.
But
Every
how
time
often
I've
are they
talked,
talking, truly?
girl,
If they know they're about to see each other in 3 weeks, they ain't talking.
she talks about him constantly.
Oh,
So they're at least talking, and however
he's
often
a
they talk
topic.
about him, and he's the topic. So that's not going to stop, especially since now you got his face.
Uh,
So once you
Girl,
get more
now you're
involved,
wrong. Now
you
you're wrong.
wrong.
You're wrong, mama. Like, now you're in the wrong, and it's because you waited too long. And it rhymes, so it's true. So
It's true. So literally tell her right now. Basically, my hope is that you're actually just pushing play after you had the conversation because you
yeah,
should have
and you're
already
listening to this
stopped 40
because
minutes ago
you
to
should
see if
really
it
be
aligned. Come
telling her
on,
at this point.
already.
So
It's
I
gonna
don't know
have
what
to
to
be
tell
a
you.
conversation on the phone. It's gonna have to be a FaceTime because, girl, you need to schedule like a little lunch date, like a FaceTime lunch date or something if you want to have food so bad because it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
You need to tell her immediately.
But if you, the reason I was using the moment of them sitting down is because it's already set up for that kind of conversation. So for me to call you out the blue after you've been talking about this man for 6 fucking months
True.
or 2.5 months, for you now me to call you out the blue and tell you that me and him was shacked up, like, that's weird. Like, that's harder to initiate than we're already sitting down to talk about him. Maybe the next time she brings him up, like, girl, I couldn't put my. You may have to lie just a little bit.
I
Like,
was
I can.
literally just trying to figure out how I can say that without sounding like a bad person. You
No,
do
it's
have to
like
lie a little bit.
a little bit of, like, remembering. Like,
Yeah, couldn't place his
girl,
face.
when I saw the picture, it was like, I know him, and I didn't want to say anything just yet, just in case, like, I was making it up. She's like, but then it hit me.
Yeah,
Do you remember that boy? Like, that's how you gotta do it. We figured it out, girl.
I
Keep
agree.
listening.
You do have
Keep
to.
listening. Keep listening to
If
this
you're in
point.
line, do not get out of line. Stay in line. I
Stay
agree
alive.
100%. You do have to lie just a little
You
bit
have to lie
on
just a little
why you
bit.
didn't remember him at first. You
No.
couldn't place him exactly.
And then once you did, you realized that it was this thing that happened 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, remember the boy
You
in
have to.
college that I had said like I was hooking up with, and then a few years later I ran into that same boy at the conference. Why is that him? Like, and I could not place where I knew him from. And it's
Yeah.
like, you got to play it like that. You got to play a little bit more clueless than
A
you actually
little
are,
bit. A little
just to
bit.
save a little bit of face. I'm not saying a lot about the whole situation. Come forward
No.
with everything after that. But about remembering, like, you
That
can get away
initial
with
when you
that.
saw the text, yeah, no, you don't. I don't think you should be like,
No,
and I
no.
knew instantly. That's kind
Instant
of like,
hell no. It's like, it hit me. I was driving, and you can even make a little story about when it
okay,
hit you. Don't
please.
don't forthcome with the story, but
Yeah.
just in case she asks, like, well, what reminded you that it was him? Like,
How'd you
I
remember?
was driving, da, 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 da. Or no, they
And then I
had brought
began
this
to pass
conference up.
out.
They had brought the conference up, and asked who was going this year, and it hit me that this was the person who I had saw at the conference. That's the only
Yeah.
way. We
Come
solved
up
it,
with whatever
girl.
lie you want, but like definitely don't lie, or definitely don't be a. Don't say you knew instantly because that's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, that would piss me off.
Have fun, girl. Good luck. I wish you all the best. And I, in this example, I will absolutely need an update. So
I definitely need one.
I need an update. Thanks, Queen. Best of luck. That's really scary. I'd be devastated if I was the best. Oh, you know what? That's what it is. Based off of history, movies, media, and like what I know of people, unfortunately, that relationship, once she finds out with the man, is gonna end eventually.
Yeah,
Like
sadly.
quickly or slowly. That's not long term, unfortunately, because unless your best friend is so healed, but you just said she wasn't, so they're done for anyway. So just save your best friendship. That's all I can tell you. So that was take it or leave it. I think for the most part, that was probably like 97% good advice.
Yeah,
I would take
and
that.
we,
I
we
would,
worked through it. I'm happy we got to
yeah, we
tell a little
atoned
bit of
for that
line.
bad advice.
When there's a little bit of line,
So,
it was really good advice.
yeah, yes, I agree. If you have a dilemma that you're facing and you need answers quick-ish, like you can wait a week or two for your answer, then yeah, you should totally write into the podcast and or
Even if you
if
already
you
solved it,
already did it, yeah, if
yeah,
you want to
like
know
even if you
if
already
what
solved
you
it
did.
and you want to know like alternatives to things you could have done, we'll take that.
Yeah, I'll help. We'll help. Or if you just have a simple question like, what are you guys' favorite things to do to listen to music? Or I don't know. If you have any kind of questions, what's your favorite coloring book brand? Like, who cares? Whatever, just ask. You only have one question you can't ask, and you know what it is. So you can
So
send those questions to Instagram, Twitter, to chowtanywaypod@gmail.com. If you have personal numbers, you can text. It doesn't matter. It's going to end up on the Google Doc either way. You can text me, it's fine. The next thing is thank me later. I literally only have one, so let me just go ahead and give the intro and get out your way.
mhm.
So this is where Jaden and I were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm doing this thing. I watched this thing. I experienced this thing, and I want to share it with everyone else." So I'll just go quick. I'm definitely like a year late, but listen, I'm here now. On HBO, Luther Vandross has a documentary. It's literally called Luther. It's very good. Was there and the messy in me wanted just a little bit more tea to be spilled, not enough, but it was still good. The music of it all was really beautiful to watch. His life and his legacy, I loved it. I would have loved a little bit more about his family dynamics, but either way, I thought it was a
Mm,
great documentary. I watched it at the gym, so it was at least groovy enough that I could keep up some sort of momentum. So check that out on HBO Max if you have it.
T. Um, this was something I was meaning to. Can you not? This was something I was meaning to share a few weeks at this point, but Beyond Bubbles is like a skincare organic brand. I think that's the best way to kind of describe it. Selling like soaps, bath bombs, lotions, mist sprays and things,
Hmm. Hmm.
lip balms,
Candles now.
candles. Now, yeah. Amira is tied to it in some form or fashion, which we won't, if you want to support the podcast or an extension of, you can still support.
Yeah.
Um, but recently, prior to using Beyond Bubble specifically, because I've known about the brand for a while, but I was at an event for work and we were giving out, we got people gift cards, and I got these people a gift card at a station, and in response to that, they gave me a free soap, like a free natural soap,
Mm,
and it came in like a sleeve, like a netted sleeve to like
yeah, a soap
scrape
saver.
skin. Yeah, yeah.
It's great skin.
Uh, and when I used it, immediate like understanding of difference and like
Mhm.
treatment on my skin. I have been prior to that. I used Dove, and my skin would be dry. Like I would, moisturize. I'm a moisturize regardless kind of person. Like going out, staying in. If I get out of the shower, I'm putting lotion on my skin.
Mhm.
I'm
Correct.
just Dr. Seuss all up and do this bitch today. Uh, but even still, like I would be scratching all day on my arm, and I don't necessarily have like eczema or things like that. It would just like my skin would just dry out and it would get a little irritated. But when I use the natural soap with the skin scraper, uh, I immediately noticed that stopped happening. Like I wasn't itching throughout the day, and my skin felt moisturized. I was like, oh, like I'm starting to see it. Then I started shopping at Beyond Bubbles, and I have not gone back. Like I have not. The only time I used Dove again was when I ran out of Beyond Bubbles and waited for my next shipment.
Yeah.
Um, but that was it. Like now, I know when I'm running low, it's time to make a new purchase because I don't think I can really. And I stopped even like using like body washes after
Yeah.
because I would like use soap and then use the body wash to like replenish some of that
Smell.
moisture
Yeah.
and for smell, of course. But like ever since using the soap, I don't even have to do that. My shower time has cut down, which is really
The
uh
water of it all, please.
the miracles of it all because my showers used to be 40 minutes
Oh,
and
girl.
now I can get in and out 20, not even maybe 15,
Yeah.
which I'm so grateful for. So definitely check out Beyond Bubbles, beyond-bubbles.com. Um, tell them Jaden sent you. There's nowhere to say that, but just talk to the screen and say Jaden sent me, and
Literally.
it'll get it right.
Literally.
Next on my thank me later, Kalela. We know her from me talking about her constantly. Um, Last year she released her album Raven, maybe 2 years ago, but she released her album Raven. Then she released her remix album, and now she released In the Blue Light, which is actually a live taping of her performance at Blue Note, which is like a world-renowned jazz club that the greats have performed at. Um, and she is just a phenomenal artist. Like one, the album and the quality of sound, you feel like you're sitting there at the Blue Note watching her
Mm.
perform. And I just think that's so like spectacular and now she's about to drop like a video version of it essentially, like showing I guess the performance, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, that's cool.
But definitely highly recommend, especially if you like jazz or like contemporary sounds or even just the reworking of music, like to see it from its original form, to see it into its remix dance era, but then now to find it in like where you're focusing on the words and the meaning of what she's saying. Like I think there's such power in like the true spectrum of artistry, specifically with Kalela's body of work and what she's able to do with it. Um,
Mm.
Moving on, Nao, Nao. We know her, we love her. If you don't know her, you will love her. She's she has an album that came out. What was that called? If you saw the
Actually,
cover, you may recognize it. Hold on.
the album is called.
The current one is Jupiter, but the
And then life was
for all we
beautiful.
know, it was this one
Oh, that one. You're talking about all the way back. Okay.
with the green. Like a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people recognize this cover. Then she dropped Saturn, which I also enjoyed. And then Life Was Beautiful. She dropped in 2021, and then we're finally getting her most recent project, Jupiter, in 2025. And it's just like, girl, you knew I needed this. Like, you knew I
Yeah.
needed this. You know, I'm an astrology girl now, so like, this is right on time.
Yeah.
Highlight track, Elevate, track 2. Love
Yeah.
the layering and
I need that.
stacking, and I think Just Dive was my other one. I don't remember. Go listen, go stream, and on that same note of looking like back into music, go listen to old music and watch movies that have been out that you've had on your list. Like, go watch media that already exists because there's plenty of it. Like, we live in a now society that chases the next thing. Like we can't even hold on to moments for long. And if they are moments, they're fucking Don Julio and Popeyes, or like Wicked. Like there are moments that are manufactured by these conglomerates to,
Yes. Yes.
where there's all this old media, or even like recently old media, that is just sitting there. Like if you're waiting for Apple Music to show you new artists, babe, I got something to tell you. Like find
No.
be an explorer of
Mm.
interest. Like do not be afraid to dive into something, whether you end up liking it or not. Like I'll add albums just because I like what the cover art look like,
So
and I'll
real.
listen to it at some random point, and it's like, oh, I don't really like this, and I'll delete it.
Yeah.
Or you leave it because I like the artwork when I scroll, like, but I just know like I'm not gonna listen to this again,
Mm-mm. It's so
or you.
real.
I recently watched Daughters of the Dust for the first time, and
Mm.
I didn't watch like the last 30 minutes because I fell asleep. But it's like cool. I watched this movie called Dry Long So on
Mm.
the Criterion Channel, um, and it's like about Oakland in the '90s and like black boys dying, and
Mm.
the main protagonist, she's an artist who like alchemized, who
Please.
put together like art installation around this theme of like uh black people dying, and she made like
Mm.
almost a cemetery for them of things, and people in her community would bring photos.
Mm.
She would just take photos of black boys, and as they would pass along, their families would bring her photos of them, like, can you make something for them? And she would be like,
Mm.
okay. And it's to look into the artist process, and like, and it's just there's so much out there that we can learn through
This is a
different media.
documentary?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's like a movie, like just a movie,
Cool.
truly. Uh, and it's like it's interesting the way that people have created things to tell, to share, and like in conversation with you. And it's like there's so many people who are chasing this thing and don't realize like all there is to learn. Like if you stop being a student, you stop living. Like there's so
Yes.
much still to learn based on the things that we have currently, or the things that like, you know, music especially, film especially, like especially if you're not a reader. Like if y'all don't like reading, why are you not watching movies? Like why are you
Hello.
not indulging in like worlds and people, things people create? Like I
Yeah.
just think there's such power in filmmaking, and of course this is also just my interest in general, but I'm trying to be even more intentional about like spending time with art and culture. And we live in a society that doesn't prioritize that, which is a huge problem. Like when you don't prioritize, I saw a video, it's like when we live in a society that doesn't prioritize the process but prioritizes the result, like it becomes dangerous because people are
Yes.
only looking for like the success but don't know how
Mhm.
to put that together. They don't understand that things take time and that you have an active role in creating something, whether it be art or revolution. Like you don't, you start to disconnect from you having power to create life and existence and perseverance. You
Mhm.
always expect it to be given to you, or like, so I just want to remind people like things are out there. Like, and I'm not just saying watch new shit, watch shit that you enjoyed years ago. Yes, watch
Yeah.
new shit, watch shit you've never seen, watch shit that changes your mind or challenges you or pushes you, and engage with it authentically. Like if you don't like it, it's okay. Like just because it's a classic to others doesn't mean like it has to be a classic to you.
Yeah. And then you can explore why you don't like it.
Like I watched The Wolf of Wall Street and I said, this is bullshit. Like y'all
Oh,
love
yeah.
this because it's so straight man. Like this is a straight man's
It
manifesto.
is. It
So
really
like
is.
no wonder why y'all love it so much. But when I watched it, I was like, this is fucking annoying as a movie.
It's
I've
crazy.
seen it a million times.
Yeah.
Uh, so I don't know. Engage with art more. I think that's really it.
Especially in these
Develop an
times.
opinion.
Yeah.
Develop an opinion. Like develop an
Please.
identity through interest. Also saw Ryan fan. I can't do anything but talk about her. Clearly, she lives in my mind rent free. Like, why have an apartment in New York when you have an apartment in my brain?
Hello.
Uh, and someone had tweeted about Doechii anti-blackness, which was very prevalent
That
in the
was
tweet.
so annoying.
The beautiful thing. It was
Yeah.
like
Like
when she
she
finally stepped into her beauty, talking about like how she had all this artistic makeup expression, and
yeah.
then now she in her recent era, she's done more like toned down makeup looks, and like she stepped into her beauty, and it's like beauty isn't the only thing there is to
True.
express. Like
Wow.
being strange and being weird is also an expression you can have. Like,
Yep.
like not being perceived as beautiful isn't the only reason people are getting dressed. Like people don't just get dressed to be seen as beautiful to other people.
Yeah, but also
Sometimes,
what's unbeautiful about it. That's also
like
what's
what's
annoying.
unbeautiful about what she's doing
Like
and
you
the
could
way
say the
she's
same
able
thing
to
about Lady
express.
Gaga and Chaperone. Like, come on now.
You can see the
Go
beauty in that, but for some reason, when this dark
right.
skinned woman is doing it, which we're at the end of this, so I'm not about to wake this back up. But regardless, like we don't all just have to make beauty. Like we don't all have to just see things as beautiful. There's an expanded vocabulary of emotions and feelings and interpretation that we can invest into. Like look
Yeah.
up words, see what they mean, write them down, say what they are. Like, and
Yeah.
if that's how you feel about something, that's how you feel. Like it's
Use
okay.
it.
And then it's okay to rewatch it again and be like, oh, actually, this is pretty good. Like, change your mind. Like, experience
Yeah.
life. Everyone's trying to figure out how to live the best life instead of just fucking living their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I have to
I
say.
agree. That's
It
all I have to say.
says a novel worth.
Literally.
Do you have anything else?
I have nothing. I
I'm
Whitney
out.
Houston.
This has been anyway.
You can listen to Chow anyway, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
We drop new episodes when we do.
When we can. Like, share, subscribe, rate, and review. Send us your questions on chowdanywaypod@gmail.com or on our social medias.
Go watch the Luther Vandross documentary on HBO. Go purchase some Beyond Bubbles ASAP. Your skin literally will be clear. Go stream Kalela and the Blue Light and all the other projects that like are tied to it. Go stream Neo's Jupiter and go stream anything else. Like pick a random artist and do a discography dive. Y'all know I live for that.
Yes.
Pick a random director or a random movie that you've heard about a million times and go watch it. And watch what happens to not just your skin but your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's that for now?
Let's not.